Hey guys, here's a Memorial Day video for you. But before we get into it, I just want to acknowledge the day and say thanks to the men and women who've given the ultimate sacrifice so that we can do the things that we love to do. While COVID has had us locked up and many are just going extra hard this weekend because of it, please give a pause and remember those who made it all possible. If the video, title, and description went over your head, let me be really clear on what you're about to watch. This is a backyard hunting video, which helps keep the population of pests under control. The bonus? Some of these guys actually taste pretty dang good. If hunting and pest control offend you, don't watch. It's simple. So with that behind us, let's get on with the video. EDgun Leshiy presents Critter Shack. Springtime means one thing: chipmunks. Every time it rains, I get a little seepage reminder along the foundation where those losers have dug a den and messed up the grating and the French drains that surround the house. Needless to say, I take great pleasure in shooting these guys, little bastards. I typically just hold center mass. It usually just breaks their spine and smashes their vitals. This guy was dead midair. This one I had the Lelya out, shooting 34 grain JSBs at a whispering 550 feet per second. Before you start telling me I'm shooting too slow, this is 23 foot-pounds, which is more than double what's needed to kill a squirrel at 25 yards in a humane way. So I'm going to show this angle a bunch in this video to allow you guys to really hear how quiet these things can be. So my neighbors are cool, but I still go out of my way to make sure things are super quiet. This one was sitting at that eye angle, which you know what I mean. So some juice is probably going to come flying. You can actually see this one and others totally censor-free over on Club Leshiy. So check out the link in the description if you want to see that. But I'm going to have to block this one off right here. Oof. Stuff goes flying.
I was hoping to squeeze in 9 holes before this rain starts.
Certainly, Your Eminency.
A pretty major storm rolled through, so I was surprised when I saw one hanging out. It was actually my wife pointed it out to me as she thought it looked sick, which you can tell here, it 100% looks like it's suffering from poison, probably from the runoff. You know, people putting crap in their lawns and stuff. It can barely stand up, so I did this one a favor for sure, and it went straight into the trash, as I didn't want the owls to get it, and there was certainly no way I was going to eat this thing. Let's watch this one again. Look at the energy dump, which made this thing go flying. Watch it go flying right. Goes right through its head and then whoop, right out its ass. But look at the thing just go flying up. It was just instant. Boom, it's done right there. I did that thing a favor for sure.
I'll be looking for a new greenskeeper. Okay. Aye, sir. Very clear, sir. I'll put my best spot on it.
It's time for the pink Leshiy to make its debut on the channel. Brian over at EDgun West has actually sent this to my kids as a gift. It's a 22, and I have it shooting those monster redesigns at about 15 foot-pounds. So it's like 50 feet per second or something like that. I'm sure one of you guys will correct me. But boom, look at that thing. Just absolutely smashes stuff. And this is just basically just about 15 foot-pounds. Look at it, ear hole this thing. Boom. Anyways, welcome to the channel, Mr. Pink.
Four! Fine shot.
Not every shot I take is perfect, and no better video than Critter Shack to show a mulligan. I sent one over its head for whatever reason, who knows, wasn't paying attention or changed the tune. But either way, this thing went right over its head. It jumped over here. I gotta get an opportunity here for a little critter mulligan. Came back almost immediately, and this time I didn't miss. But he went out in style. I'll give him a 9.8. So you guys let me know what you think. I'm gonna sit back and shut up and watch this one play out for you. As I really slow it down, you can see that JSB 22 monster just drop in perfectly. And it just launched and gave this perfect triple sow cow. That was a 9.8 for sure. I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but do you know how much I hate chipmunks? Here's another one that I just tomahawked with a 34 grain JSB MK2. I almost missed it, actually, when I was watching this in slow-mo. I almost missed it, but that big old pellet did its thing, and it was nighty-night. My neighbor gave me the green light on chipmunks as well, and so I wasted no time, and I punched this guy. It crawled off about 8 feet, and then it just tipped over. Those vital shots are weird like that sometimes. The only other critter I predominantly hard punch is a skunk, but that's for a whole other reason. The other critter on my neighbor's naughty list is the rabbit. The owls have just been smoking these guys at night, but there's still a few coming out during the day. Maybe the owls are sleeping. That's when they're coming out the most. But anyways, they've been chewing up her garden. It's just been driving her crazy. So that previous squirrel had an acrobatic death, but there is no critter that does it more consistently than a rabbit. And this guy didn't disappoint. I mean, look at that thing. It's like 2 feet off the ground easily, and then boom. I was actually a little bit high on this guy, but it doesn't matter on a rabbit. The wind blows and these things die. The one thing the owls don't seem to be helping with, though, is the squirrel population. If you've been a supporter of this channel, you know I have a legit infestation. They get in my roof. They've been in my attic for basically 2 years straight. It's a nightmare. But, well, it's a nightmare to me. For you guys, it's probably pretty entertaining. But I've been non-stop with these bastards for years. It's like I don't even put a dent in the population. So onward we go. And I took out Mr. Pink and ended this dude EDgun Mafia style. I'm gonna really slow this one down again using the Tactacam 5.0 camera. This is 15 foot-pounds. Did you see that pass through? This is why a backstop is super important.
Firepower? intelligence. And that's how she wrote.
Let's transition tonight and take a few rats. I start with Mr. Pink in the ATN X Sight 4K Pro, and then we move on over to the Leshiy in 25, where I've got the ATN Thor 4 thermal on top. ATN's actually having a huge Memorial Day weekend sale on both of these, so I'll throw a link in the description if you want to go check them out or you're in the market. There's a great deal on them right now. This guy was with the Thor. Man, I love the Thor thermal. Nothing can hide. But watch this. Watch what happens right here. This thing just explodes. His head ends up, I don't know what it hit, but it like bounced off the rocks. Boom. Look at that. That's like 15 feet in front. That's crazy. You can see it right there. One of the tough things about thermal is measuring the context of dense brush. So with all that water underground, the rats were high up in these thick evergreen shrubs, and it's tough to tell. You can't see the definition of branches and leaves and stuff. But the pellet can bounce around a bit, but not on that one. I actually just drilled it. And then the next night, actually this one is from the next night, and in the exact same spot. So it must be a little spot that they like to go in there. But I just drilled this guy too, and he went down into the bushes. I'm going to end this video with a little sneak peek at what's coming next. So US Optics sent off their new TS3 by 12x scope. It's a fixed focal plane, really small, perfect little scope for the Leshiy. And so I've been in search for some scope options for the Leshiy 2 when it comes out, and this little guy didn't disappoint. So I'm going to go into full details and all of that in the upcoming video, but we're going to do this one a little bit different. And then I'm doing this as a collaboration with Joe from over at Cyclops Joe channel. He did the first half of the review on his channel already, so I'll go ahead and throw a link near the top of the description. You can go check that out. The second half will be running it through its paces, doing what I do with some squirrels. So here's a sneak peek. Backyard hunting helps keep the population of potential pest animals under control. The bonus? Some of these guys taste pretty dang good. So here's one of my all-time favorite squirrel recipes. Press pause to get the full details.